spotlight's on Ben Hunt this year. You know, like he needs a big year, Benny.
He said he's been saying throughout the week that he shares leading the team around with Corey Norman. Should he be taking full control, or are you happy with that?
I've got no problem with that.
Yeah.
I've got no problem with that because I've played in sides, you know, where the halfback's been the dominant player. You know, at Canterbury with Brett Kamali, called the shots. Loved calling the shots. It was comfortable to him, and it worked. And at Cronulla, it was James Maloney who wore the 6 that called the shots, and Chad Townsend, you know, steered the side around and called field positions. But James essentially, at times, you know, played the majority in terms of calling the set pieces.
Yeah.
So I don't have a problem with that. I just my big concern is I really like Ben Hunt at dummy half.
Okay.
Just because I think it takes away that traditional having to run the side, control the side, come up with the big plays and the big moments, and he's got great instinct on the game, and he's a strong ball runner, and he's got a good kicking game out of dummy half, and he's a strong defender. He's a strong under the ball defender. There's no surprising that's why Queensland play him there, but.
So that explains.
But he's been brought to the Dragons to play.
That's right. But that also explains why he does share the leadership and directing the side around with Norman, because he doesn't thrive off that. He doesn't get a kick out of that. That to him, it's an expectation he probably doesn't want or need. So when he goes into that number 9, he tends to play better, right?
Yeah. I ask you this: when you're watching the Dragons play and the big moments come, the really big moments. Do you have concerns over whether Hunt can get it done?
Of course I do.
Yeah.
I mean, he hasn't shown enough evidence, right?
Yeah.
And if I'm totally honest, if it's a big moment, I'm kind of thinking Corey Norman more than Hunt. But that's not to say that Hunt can't, because we've seen him deliver big moments, but not enough, right?
No, and it's just that's where he's got to get to, Benny. You know, I think if this Dragons side are to...
Maybe if he did say, you know what, this is my team, I own it, let's do this, boys.
Yeah.
You know, I want to take some control, get on the back of me. The last 2 seasons haven't worked.
Yeah.
You know, there's obviously a reason for it. Mate, let's do this. You know, and then the other guys might go, oh, you know, they might fire up and go, all right, he's our leader, he's our man, let's do this, Benny. Like, maybe he does need to change. Maybe he's got to stop being so easygoing and just content with where he's at, because the results really aren't suggesting that they are doing well enough. Now, I went through the back. I went through a little bit of halves. I don't think it is a concern if they want to share the workload. Yeah. I mean, if you look at the premiership winners, 2014, Reynolds and Keary. I mean, I'm sure they would have shared that around a bit themselves. 2015, Thurston and Morgan. That's a dominant half.
Yeah, that's a dominant.
And whenever Cronk's won premierships,
but I think if you look at that too, though, Braith, I mean, that was probably the art of the Cowboys back then, was the fact that Thurston was such a focal point that when Morgan did step up, it was almost unexpected. Yeah. And his game went to a new level because he also then started to develop some leadership, which you saw when Thurston was out injured, and he went to halfback and had a tremendous back end of the year.
Yeah. Well, it does take the pressure off it, doesn't it? Your other half, if one is more dominant.
It does. And there are guys, you would know that.
Yeah, I definitely.
That some guys just thrive on being the shot caller and love steering the side around the park. Chad Townsend's the perfect example of that. Loves calling the field positions, loves steering the side around. And then Maloney was just the bloke that would sit back and pick his moments and then call the big shots. So, and Chad was comfortable being that person, you know, and that's why he's been consistent for so long.